kind of have an interesting connection to this movie in a way as well. Because something we haven't really talked about much, I think, over the course of the 20 episodes.
20 episodes?
20.
Congratulations.
Same to you.
Yes.
As that John is an actor, and one of the jobs that he's had recently, not that recently, but it feels recent, was part on the show Kidding on Showtime. Kidding was a show that starred Jim Carrey, and the episode that you were in was actually directed by Michel Gondry, who directed Eternal Sunshine. So I don't know if you want to share a little bit about that experience or about that show, but it was another Jim Carrey kind of serious, very serious role.
Yes. Yeah, the show Kidding was about Jim Carrey playing a character named Jeff Pickles, and he was like a children's television show host, and his life was just falling apart, and he was trying to hold it together. And so it had a lot of very serious themes running through it. And I was on for an episode playing a history teacher to his son, Will. And it was so amazing because Michel Gondry, this movie is something that always, has been in my mind. And I've also really enjoyed so much of his other work as well. I'm a huge fan of Be Kind, Rewind.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And it's another movie that feels very off the cuff.
Yeah.
Like Eternal Sunshine feels kind of like that as well. Kidding did not feel like that, I would say. Kidding was much more pre-planned, I felt. But yeah.
Well, I mean, when I was there, so I played a history teacher, and we showed up at a school that was actually a school that was in session in Los Angeles. And the particular classroom that we were working in, there were two classrooms. One was kind of like a green room, and one was the actual room that we shot in. When I went in and I was introduced to Michel Gondry, I kept it cool. You know what I mean?
I'm impressed by that. That would have been hard.
Yes. I mean, I have my times where I can really just hold it together with my excitement. And then other times I'm like full Tommy boy. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't help it. Oh my God. But with him, I kept it really cool. And it was two scenes, and I interacted with Will Pickles, who was Jeff Pickles' son, so Jim Carrey's son on the show. And the son was stoned.
Yeah.
And it was a very funny scene because, I was just like your regular run-of-the-mill history teacher, and I had a test for them. And then I wanted Will to do the extra credit. And the extra credit is that I was sitting at my desk eating my lunch, and he took ketchup and put it on his face. And then he actually took the page that had the extra credit assignment and just put his face on it, and then just put it in the bin.
Because the question was draw a self-portrait or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he just did it with ketchup and printing his face onto the paper.
Which was really funny.
Because he was stoned and also emotionally having some issues because that was like the background of the story. But, it was really an interesting show.
Yeah.
And do you remember which episode? Was it 2?
Yes, it was episode 2 of the first season. And the name of the episode, let's see if I say it right, Pusillanimous?
Pusillanimous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a word that I had never heard before. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this word? So, but Michel Gondry was very cool. So there were scripted lines that I had. And then he also really encouraged me to improv and act outside of the box. And that was, a dream come true, getting to play with, someone that it's a hero in your mind.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, why don't you try the line a different way? Why don't you try it like you're good friends with the kid? You know what I mean? And so we tried all these different ways of me interacting with this actor who's very good, by the way. It was a crazy day, and it was the first day that I ever ate a Reuben sandwich.
Yeah.
Because there was a Reuben sandwich that was in the scene, and I was very excited to get to try that.
Yeah, you just had to keep eating it. I mean, do you ever want to have a Reuben again, or are you like, I'm good on this now?
I was actually really excited at the time, and I continued to be excited about a Reuben, so I would totally do that again. And there were some French fries. I mean, I had the whole thing, And there was like a soda, and they're like, "What kind of soda would you like?" Like I was like, "Oh wow," you know what I mean? I'm not used to this.
That's funny.
I was like, I thought water in the cup would have been cool, but I got to choose soda. You know what I mean
really
as
cool.
well.
That's fun.
Yeah, so it was like it was a very good experience. And when it was over, when we had finished, I was walking away. And Michel Gondry was walking away. And there was part of me, it's like, go talk to him. Go say something. Get a picture with him. And then I was like, no, man.
You be cool.
Be cool. And so I think I did the right thing.
But it's also hard to feel that way. You got the regret. But yeah, I think you probably did the right thing because he probably still had work to do.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. And the best thing about this is, a million years ago, before I knew who Michel Gondry was, I remember someone talking to me. They're like, yeah, I saw this film by Michel Gondry. And I was like, I know what's up, right? I was like, oh yeah, she's great. I was dead to rights.
I love it. So we told a cool story about you, and you're like, let me undercut this by showing that I was kind of a D-bag.
Right? I was just like, I know. and so, yeah, but getting to work with an amazing director like this is an experience that I'll never forget. And it was everything that you always wanted. It's like, I'm not an athlete, but it's like playing catch with your hero. Yeah. Whoever that is, because I really don't know sports, guys. I'm sorry. But, it's just like that. Just throwing around the pigskin with you insert name here.
Well, I thought it was super cool because, I mean, you didn't meet Jim Carrey or whatever, but because you weren't in the scene with him. But the call sheet, he was on it. And also, like, in the actual episode, when we were watching it, like, your scene is happening, and then it cuts to a scene with, like, Jim Carrey and Catherine Keener.
Wow.
And I was like, well, it doesn't get much cooler than that.
No, I mean, Catherine
That was like
Keener.
a dream.
Yeah, that entire cast is just like a dream cast.
Yeah.
Like Frank Langella, really? Oh,
amazing.
My gosh.
Oh, man, he's good in everything. Ugh, Robot and Frank. What?
Oh, yeah. What a great one.
Yeah, so that is an awesome experience.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to kind of have that connection to this movie, which is such a good movie.
Yeah. Well, it's like, when I watch it, I just am like, wow. I'm like, you were kind of close to this.
Yeah.